Good blessed throwback Thursday, December the 15th, 2022. It's about 8:12 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like what I say or anything that I do or produce. That's your prerogative. You have a right to do that. If you look at some of my YouTube videos, you'll see I have a lot of enemies. Just like today when they had shooting over here in the black community again in Charleston, Missouri on the west side of town. And when I videoed and I showed some of the things that was happening as far as with law enforcement, some people didn't like it, but I keep it 100% real. When I talked about black leaders, where were they at? Some people don't like it, but I keep it 100% real. What I want to do is, first I want to say, stop the violence, stop this black on black crime. And I want y'all today, I want you to take a real good look at my youngest daughter, my 16-year-old daughter. 2 days ago, on December the 13th, 2022, in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County, my 16-year-old daughter addressed it to grown politicians, the city council, the acting mayor and the city council in Carbondale, Illinois, asking them to reopen the death investigation of her oldest brother and my oldest child, my only son. I want you to listen to her. I want you to listen to me. And I want you to listen to the man that came after us, Mr. Reed. All three of us go some of every place speaking up for other people. But I want y'all, those of y'all that Bryan's friends, he got 800 and something friends on his Facebook page. To show you how crooked the police department is, his Facebook page is still active. Ever since he been dead. He been dead over 640, almost 40 days. But take a look at this here, where Birdie speaking at the city council meeting. And I encourage some of Bryan other brothers and sisters to speak up. Take them travels like me and Birdie did. Take a look at these videos. Stop the violence. Y'all be safe here in Charleston, Missouri, because it's coming to be like St. Louis in Chicago, Illinois. Peace.
My name is Birdie May Ivy II, and I'm from Charleston, Missouri, and I'm here with my dad seeking justice for my brother, Bryan Lamar Johns, who was found hung here in Carbondale in the Gaslight Apartments. And I'm one of many people that is helping him with this independent investigation that we have going on for him. And my dad requested some things from the Carbondale Police Department. It's a list 1 through 7. It's dated June the 2nd, 2022. And number 7 struck my attention and is concerning a white lady who works at the Carbondale Rebound High School. And she was caught on camera spending my brother's food stamps 39 days after he was found hung. And it reads, information regarding recorded interview done of the female suspect pertaining to the use of Bryan Johns' SNAP benefits. And their response was, this item is denied. The suspect was interviewed at a location outside of the Carbondale Police Department, but there was no recording of the interview done. And I was just curious on how is it a professional death investigation if they interviewed her outside of the Carbondale Police Department and they don't have the interview recorded or anything. And I feel as though that is racially motivated because her husband, which is black, was caught doing the same thing on camera that she was doing, spending my brother's food stamps 39 days after he was found hung. And they interviewed him at the Carbondale Police Department, and they have the interview recorded on audio and video. And I was just wondering if y'all could open his case back up and find an independent investigator outside of the Carbondale Police Department.
Yes. Please.
My name is Raymond Ivy. That was my 16-year-old daughter just speaking. And I'm coming to ask the same thing. Back in July of 2021, I addressed this same body, and I believe it was Mike Henry, and I explained to him what was going on. I believe all of you all was here, and he asked Reno, the Chief Reno, is it anybody else? Because I asked, can anybody else look into this case? And Chief Reno came up and told you all that they was waiting on the results from the pathologist in the coroner's office in the Illinois State Police Department. Now, the Carbondale Police Department closed my son's case and made it a suicide in August of 2021. I talked personally to the state's attorney, and I believe her name is Tolliver from the police department. Marvin, I don't want to start with an M, the one that deal with the Freedom of Information Act. She gave me everything that I needed, but the prosecuting attorney, going on what the police department told them, suicide, they closed my son's case in September. The pathologist determined my son's case before the toxicology test even came back. She declared my son suicide in June. The coroner declared it suicide in June, about a week later. Now, they had the Illinois State Police. The only thing they sent to the Illinois State Police was my son's fingernails, a part of some of his blood, because he had 3 fractured ribs that the pathologists or none of them could say how them fractured ribs. The 7th rib had hemorrhaging in it. He had a big gash in the back of his left hand, go all the way down to the tendons. I worked on the ambulance. If it went down to the tendons and he hung someplace and he hung himself, blood would be spattered all over, but it was only a couple of drops. Come get this baby girl. It was only a couple of drops. But what I want to show y'all, the Illinois State Police didn't finish their investigation. Take notes on this. They didn't finish their investigation. This is Illinois State Police until October the 19th of 2021. So how did the police come up with their conclusion 2 months ahead of time? The prosecuting attorney 3 months ahead of time, and the pathologist now 4 or 5 months ahead of time. And let me show you what the Illinois State Police came up with. If they would have waited, they probably wouldn't have closed it. The only thing they sent was his fingernails, like I said. We know them was his fingernails, but they sent the belt that he was hung on. And it was knots on it. It was 2 knots. This is what it said. Sample sealed containing, no, that's the fingernails. Let me go to, okay. It says samples in the envelope squab and said belt knot number 1. It says contributors, not 1, not 2, but 3 contributors on knot number 1. That meaning my son was 1. He couldn't be excluded, but it was 2 more people on there. On the belt knot number 2, 3 contributors. Then it says on the belt number 3 buckle, rivet 2, 2 contributors. And let me see what I dropped the other. Here it is. And on belt number 2, belt number 4, the second rivet, it was 2 contributors. That meaning it was more than 1 person, or not my son. And if you see the manner of how my son was hung, ain't no way a human being can hang themselves. This is what I want to show. This is their death investigation thing here. 90% of this is just trying to notifying prisons to try to find something on suicide. It was a white female, like my daughter said, a school teacher in your Carbondale school. You know why they didn't investigate her? I called on March the 24th when I came down here. I talked to Miss Harvey on the phone. Called her from her husband when I went to their church when I was doing an investigation. Deacon James
Harvey. He let me talk to his wife. He let me talk to Linda Flowers and Dr. Logwood. All of them, I told what happened to my. I didn't think the police was doing something right with my son's investigation. I filed a complaint with the NAACP like they told me. Guess what? The NAACP didn't investigate, and I found out. We did some more research. Linda Flowers is the president, but she's on the board. She's the one on a commission here for the city of Carbondale. Miss Harvey is a city council member. You see what I'm saying? Nancy Maxwell, who's supposed to be the chairperson for the NAACP here, gave me the applications to fill it out, and I emailed it to the NAACP in Carbondale on May the 11th, 2021. And you know how many times they met with me? Can any of y'all guess? 0. It's been 630 some days. The NAACP didn't investigate the white school teacher, Katie Valid, or how you pronounce that other name? Belcott. Y'all know who she is. You know why they didn't investigate her? Because Linda Flowers is on the board of the school. So it was a context. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. First of all, your 4 minutes are up. And secondly, this city council does not determine what any other organization will do, whether they investigate or not, whether it's NAACP, a public school teacher, or anyone else. We operate for the good of Carbondale, not for the NAACP, not for any specific individual. So, as I said, your 4 minutes are up. If you have something
Can I get 3 seconds?
If you have something you'd like to leave with us, please bring it forward. You can get.
I'm just going to ask, can I have 3 seconds?
15 seconds. I'll be generous.
Oh, 15. I appreciate it.
Please.
We'll take the Carbondale NAACP out of the way. The police department closed this prematurely. You see what I'm saying? They closed it before the Illinois State Police even came back. Another thing, incompetent CSI lady was there when the coroner pried my son's hand open, which it was $3 in it with blood on it. Instead of putting it in an evidence bag, they put it in the corner. Sam Bryan put it in the body bag. He had a drop of blood on his shoe. She took that and put it in the body bag. He had a blood on his pants, and here they took it straight to the pathologist. She found drugs in his socks. The Carbondale police was incompetent, and they shouldn't have never been investigating my son's body. And we asking y'all to look into the way the Carbondale Police Department ineffectively and incompetent. Ain't no CSI person gonna take money out of a person's hand that been hung and put it in a body bag and it got blood on it. The Illinois State Police is the only one that done their job. The Carbondale Police didn't, and I believe it was racist. You see what I'm saying? Because my son was black, he was homeless, he was on drugs. None of these people could tell how his ribs got fractured. They didn't care. None of them could tell how this happened. But I'm gonna leave it at that. But you're right about the NAACP. I'm an NAACP member. So is her. One thing about us, we stand for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, not just the National Association for certain people.
Thank you.
You see, you know.
Yes, I'm a life member also. Are there others who would like to make comments? Yes, ma'am.
It's Reed, Carbondale, Illinois. During the 6 p.m. 7/12/2022 City Council meeting, citizen comments, Carbondale United Director Nancy Maxwell stated that there are 35 families.
Could you move the mic up, please?
35 families in the Georgetown apartments being displaced for the second time with no place to go, no money to move. They need help. She proposed that the city work out an agreement with U-Haul and provide them with moving assistance. I was later told that agreement was made with U-Haul. During the 11/29/2022 Cairo, Illinois, Alexander County Housing HUD meeting, HUD Director James Cunningham stated an inspection of the Carbondale Smith building revealed that several foundation cracked concrete beams. A 7/2022 engineering study concluded that the building may not withstand an earthquake, will fall similar to the 2021 Florida condo building collapse. Based on the engineering study and safety concerns, HUD had decided to relocate all the Carbondale building residents, which are 35 families, in 90 days and demolish the building. HUD has a relocation company and $1.5 million in relocation funds. HUD would pay all the residents' moving costs. Residents will be given vouchers. A KO resident asked why Carbondale residents moved from building to building. He stated they were recently kicked out of Carbondale Georgetown apartments and had to move back to Cairo. Nancy Maxwell stated that she had helped the people from Cairo that got moved to Carbondale. She asked the HUD official, did she know how hard it is to find housing for people with HUD vouchers? She is still trying to find housing for some of the Cairo Georgetown apartment residents. I say that to say that the city of Carbondale and Nancy Maxwell and her group had no business spending money and moving those people out of Georgia. That's HUD money and business to do that. They got $1.5 million now to relocate the people out of the Carbondale Smith building. I have been employed as a union construction laborer in locals 227, 703 during period 1983 to present. Prior to 10/2022, I was employed on Carbondale area construction projects. On about 10/2020, the city of Carbondale adopted a 2020 affirmative action plan that does not list the 16% local minority resident, trainee, apprentice, journeyman, construction contractor, construction worker, and employment. During period 10/2020, the president had not been employed on any of the Carbondale construction projects. White male non-Carbondale resident union construction workers and non-union Mexican construction workers have been employed on the Carbondale construction project. My question is, does the city manager, the mayor, or the city council members know the names or number of any Carbondale residents that have been employed on any Carbondale construction projects, that's trainees, apprentices, journeyman construction workers during period 1/1/2022 to present, pursuant to the City of Carbondale 1981, 2008, 2020 affirmative action plans and Egyptian Building Trades Council project labor agreements? Do you know the names or number of any Carbondale residents employed on
No.
Carbondale construction jobs?
No.